Hello everyone. So what I propose to do today is to pretty much solve the issues behind the script of Star Wars The Last Jedi. I want to do this in a small video here because many people have been complaining about the movie, many people have been defending it, and I want to try and come in the middle and help to kind of set things right and try and work with the plot we now have, because these are the movies we now have, so we have to work with them. We don't have other ones. Just a couple things I want to say before I dive into this. Well, first, yeah, spoiler alert. There's going to be spoilers for pretty much the whole Star Wars saga. So if you don't want to be spoiled, stop here, leave, come back after you watch the movie. Second advice is this is going to be my own personal views. So if you don't agree, you are free to comment. Be be free to place your comments, negative or positive or anything. I am okay with it. This is only my personal view. Anyone is free to have theirs. So with this in mind, something else I wanted to say is just if you are asking yourselves, well, I did enjoy the movie. Yes, I did. I found the movie a quite fun movie to watch at the theater, but I will not deny it has some script issues, or at least things which could and maybe should have been a little bit better explained. And with nothing else to say, let's go into it. Let's go into it and let's work around the issues if we can. And I think we can. I think this thing is possible to work. I am not against Disney's or Lucasfilm vision for the story. I think we can work around it. It's possible to get there. Let's see if we can. So, some of the big issues that people have with the movie, and let's get straight into the elephant in the room, is Luke Skywalker. Okay, so a lot of the stuff Luke does just seems a bit off with what we know about the character from the past, and the past has to be the previous movies. Let's forget about the extended universe. I'm not into it, or I'm not that much into it. I don't have the time, but let's focus on the movies. So last we saw Luke. Luke was very optimistic. He was maybe a bit reckless. Yeah, he was. And he was quite brave. He was willing to risk his own life if he saw it as the right course of action. So this is the Luke we knew from the old movies. And now many people have terrible issues with the idea that Luke would just leave and be out of the fight and don't want to get involved. Many people are blaming Luke of being a coward. So I think we need to kind of set up some backstory here and a better one, or at least something. So for me, we could set up a kind of a backstory where Luke, he saw Ben diving into the dark side. He saw Ben trying to tap more and more into the dark side of the Force. He foresaw what Ben would become, and even more, we can have here that Luke had a vision or a dream. You can go either way, but Luke had this very, very strong premonition that Ben would turn into a dark side user, and most importantly, that Ben was going to kill both his parents, or going to be the cause of their death, because it's still open what we want to do with Leia. And I don't want to fix it for anyone, so let's leave it open. But let's say that Ben is going to be the cause of the death for both his parents, and Luke sees this. Furthermore, Furthermore, Luke has contact with at least Yoda. We already know this. So, and Yoda for sure can see this also, can see this future unfolding. So Luke, faced with the prospect of having his nephew going to kill both his best friend and his beloved sister, well, what could Luke do? It's a hell of a situation to be in, and one possible situation which could totally undermine and destroy Luke Skywalker's character. Because if one thing we know about Luke is he loves his friends and he loves his sister. And let's not get into the kiss thing from the past. No, let's not that kind of love, please. Not that kind of love. He loves his sister. If you remember, it was mentioning his sister that made him tap into the dark side and aggressively fight Vader and actually beat Vader, because he tapped into the dark side, and he did that because of the threat to his sister, to Leia. So if Luke saw in some way that Leia and Han were going to be threatened by Kylo or Ben, whatever, that would make Luke be in a very, very hard spot. And this is the kind of backstory I think we need. I think we need this very, very strong vision, this very strong feeling of the future that is going to unfold if he does nothing. And to me, this is what could bring Luke to a moment of recklessness, a moment of passion, emotion, where he thinks he has to kill his nephew because it's the only solution that he can see. Well, I would probably even add a little bit more motivation. I would add that in this vision of the future, Luke foresaw that he himself would end up having to kill his nephew. And this would be backed up by Yoda. Okay? So, and this is where Luke would go mental and think, okay, so I'm going to kill my nephew in like 30 years from now, or 20 or 10, or like in the next 5 or 10 seconds. Does it matter? Well, if I kill him in the next seconds, then maybe Leia and Han will live a little bit longer. If I kill him in 10 or 15 years, then Leia and Han are going to be dead. So what was the choice? For Luke, in a moment of recklessness, the choice was to go and kill his nephew at the moment. But because he is Luke, he did not go fully into the dark side, into his darker emotions. He was able to see through it, and in the middle of it, he saw what he was going to do, and he stopped himself. Because he is Luke, he can do this. We know he is able to do this. So in the middle of his darker emotions, in the middle of his recklessness, he stopped himself, and he actually gave Ben the option to leave, to get out, to go away, just go away, disappear. And we could even set a little bit of backstory that Luke actually told Ben to just go away, live a quiet life, don't get into this dark power, because it was going to get everyone killed. We could even try and set a little bit this up. It's still possible. It's still possible inside the story we have. So with this, we would solve the reason why Luke tried to kill his nephew. Now, we would also have a very good solution to why Luke decided to move away, step out, and don't interfere anymore. Well, as we see, Ben did not go away. Ben went into Kylo Ren mode. He went further into the dark side, and now the future that Luke saw unfolding is really happening, is becoming the present. And Han is already dead. Leia probably will be dead in the near future. So Luke has seen all this coming to reality. And what is his part to play in all this? Well, in the vision Luke had from the future, his part to play is going to be to kill his nephew. But now Luke really doesn't want to do this. And because he really doesn't want to face his nephew, he's not going to fight this battle. Luke, he is going to see things as nothing else to do. Han and Leia will die. Luke cannot kill his nephew, so there's nothing else to do. Everyone is going to die. This is going to be terrible, yes, but there's no way to stop it. This is going to be inside Luke's head. And so his choice is going to be, well, the only one thing I can stop is I can stop me from killing my nephew. So I'm going to move out from this fight. I'm not going to fight because I've seen in the future there's no way I can stop Han from dying. No way I can stop Leia from dying now. It's going to happen. The one thing I can stop is I will not kill my nephew. And so be it. He will be a Dark Lord, but he's my nephew, so let him be. This is going to be inside Luke's head, and this is going to be the reason why Luke is going to be totally destroyed and living outside of everyone. He doesn't want to connect with anyone. He wants nothing to do with the Force anymore because he doesn't want to be brought into killing his nephew, because that's what he will need to do if he jumps into the fight. Because by this time Luke knows there's nothing else he can do. And also we could speculate that Luke is also aware that if Rey fights Kylo and goes against Kylo, there's also a chance or a possibility that she's going to tap also into the dark side. And she's going to face Kylo. She's not going to be able to redeem him. She's going to have to kill him, or at least Luke is thinking this way, okay? We have to get this inside Luke's mind. He's also older, so it's possible that he's now a little bit more pessimistic about things. And it's possible he's believing in his visions, because his visions have been true so far, as we know. When he was back in Dagobah with Yoda, the visions that his friends were in danger were actually true. So he did see the future there. Though the future was not going to happen exactly how he thought it would be, but that he didn't know back then and he doesn't know right now. But what he knows is that if he interferes, if he gets into the fight, his nephew is going to die, and he doesn't want that. So this would be the possible explanation for Luke wanting to remove himself from the fight, for Luke wanting to kill his nephew in the first place. And I think this is a possible way out for the script we were given and for the story we are being told. This is a possibility. Now, as for the ending of the movie, as for the final scene, this can also come and fit well into this solution, because if we think about it and if we get into this kind of mindset, if we think Luke doesn't want to kill his nephew and doesn't want to get into the fight, it makes a lot more sense that he did not want to go there in person, live. It makes a lot more sense, because Luke knew that if he was going to go there live, he was going to kill Kylo. And that's the thing he is now decided not to do. So that's why Luke still wanted to send his presence there as some help. He is still trying to kind of help Leia there and kind of help Rey somehow and the Resistance. He doesn't want everyone to die, so he's trying to still do something, but he doesn't want to face Kylo. He doesn't want to kill him. And at the end of the day, as he sees that everything is pretty much, everything went south. That's the way to say it. His final choice is, okay, I've done what I can do. I could go there in person and let Kylo kill me live in person. That would be a choice. But Luke doesn't feel like doing that. He doesn't want to face his nephew. So he just decides to become a Force ghost and see what he can do from there. Yeah, that's the best I can. Or he just decided to leave and he's not even going to come as a Force ghost because for him it's over. Things did not end up well. It may be a bit sad and depressing, but stories can sometimes go that way. Okay, so this is it. This is my solution for the problem. If you want to know myself, I would have written quite a different story for this all new trilogy. I would do it in a quite different way, and I can maybe do this and explain what I would do to correct the story and to make it flow, I think, better, even inside the ideas they had and inside the concepts they were trying to create. I would still do some things different, like I would try not to make Luke so much into depression, maybe give him a little bit a better way out. I would try to give a little bit better conflict for Rey and Kylo. I would try to set up Kylo's, let's say, a purpose a bit better from the beginning. I would try and fix things slightly. Would also set up a little bit better the Rey's backstory. I think all that could be done and we could end up with a better story. But I am not in the movie business and it's quite easy to speak from this side. After I see a story, it's quite easy to point his failures or his, well, let's say, the things which are not so perfect. It's quite easy to nitpick. Yeah, we have to say that. Nitpicking is far easier than writing a story from the start. And it's also far easier to just fix a story which is already there. What has to be said is they had some ideas here, that they have some thoughts on where they want to go. They are probably not developing these ideas perfectly. No, they are not. I can see that. But they are doing something. They are going something. They are giving us interesting movies. Could they be better written? Well, I think yes. And I may show you guys in a later video how I would fix this story. So for now, this was my solution for the big issue with Star Wars The Last Jedi. I hope you enjoyed. See you. Bye.